from the California coast, beaches and bridges. I'm from the California coast, beaches and bridges.
So what's happening, man? What's up with y'all, man? Welcome to another episode of Beaches and Bridges, the real cast, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to tell y'all to like and subscribe. I mean, you know, that's what you do when you like something. You feel me? So, and y'all know it's free, so it don't even matter. I'm gonna have a little different kind of podcast today because, man, like, this is just a little story podcast. So, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be how I usually do it with a gang of variety and all that for y'all to think about. It's just some stuff that I had on my mind from this little, from a real road trip that I took. How many miles was that? Let me see, y'all. I'm gonna tell you how many miles we went, man, because this was a road trip. This wasn't, you feel me? This wasn't around the corner. This was, 2,700, something like that miles. Real crazy. It was a real crazy trip, but, I don't know. First, let me rewind. Y'all know that, when the podcast come on, and excuse my energy today, y'all, because, man, you know, life be lifing, man. So I just like I tell y'all all the time, you know, my podcast is Beaches and Bridges, so it's about, you know, it have a Bay Area, California aspect to it. This is not like LA or nothing. This is the Bay. So one of the little things I wanted to talk about was, first of all, I did not know that Alcatraz was a federal prison. I thought it was just some state stuff. So that was one interesting point. But another interesting point was, now I didn't know because, you know, I ain't never been to prison or nothing, but man, I might have spent a night in jail. And I know that if you take a shower in there, you know, the water cold and all that type of stuff, and they don't want you comfortable so you won't come back. But the inmates at Alcatraz most definitely had hot water. Now, you'll be thinking, you know, that would be another like Club Fed type thing, I guess, because the Fed, but Alcatraz was supposed to be like the prison, the federal prison for like the worst inmates. I don't know which one is classified as that now, but it's supposed to be the jail for the worst inmates. So why would they get them hot water? So I'll let y'all in on a little more inside baseball. I for sure be talking to Gemini, which is, I have Android. I don't have an iPhone, and he's the AI that's inside of the phone now or whatever. So sometimes I'll be having conversations or whatever you call it. I don't know what you would call. I ask him questions or whatever, and he tells me things. And he was like, the reason why that they had hot water was because they didn't want the prisoners to get used to cold water. So if they try to escape the island, the Pacific Ocean is pretty cold. Even though the Alcatraz is inside of the bay, it's still the water that fills the bay is from the Pacific Ocean. So it's for sure like cold as hell. Like, I couldn't even tell you how cold it is. I would have to ask, but they saying that if they'd have gave them people cold water, you know, they would have been ready to, you know, get up out of there, paddleboard up out of that thing. You know what I'm talking about? They'd be used to the cold, so it wouldn't be no problems. Yeah, that was pretty interesting to me. It was just pretty interesting, the whole thing about finding out that Alcatraz is a federal prison. I didn't know. I was thinking that it was like state, because it's right here. We have another like prison that's not too far from here, and I've heard people call San Quentin the island. I should look up and see why they call San Quentin the island, because it's definitely not on the island, but you know, they call it the island, but that's a state thing. So that's a state run. So I was thinking that, like, you know, it's the same thing, because San Quentin and Alcatraz is actually not that far from each other. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. But yeah, it's definitely federal. So that was one thing. And they have private tours at night. They have intricate tours where you could be locked up for a minute. Like, hey, at least it's a tour. You get to go home after the tours. if y'all interested, go to the ferry building, you figure out the price or whatever, and, go check it out. Warm water in the shower. I wouldn't been thinking about none of that, you know what I'm saying? But, that's how you try to minimize what's going to happen. I mean, people is, you touch that cold water, you like, heck no, I've been bathing in hot water this whole time. So, yeah. It ain't it seemed like that deterrent would have worked. I mean, I know they've had some escape attempts from there, but they didn't say if the person really escaped or not. They didn't say if they drowned or whatever, but I'm pretty sure they would say they drowned. But the person that escaped, who knows? We didn't get a chance to talk to him or them. So, and it's a movie called Escape from Alcatraz. I don't know if that was the real deal, but yeah, you could check that out too. But I thought that was an interesting thing about Alcatraz to talk about. Why I say this is definitely a different vibe podcast is because this is mostly going to be, like I said, about this story. So I want to start with is definitely a different vibe podcast is because this is mostly going to be, like I said, about this story. So I want to start with the positive. You feel me? Because things happen, in situations where it's supposed to be a real positive outlook and a real positive vibe, but the little things happen during it to try to ruin it. And so I just wanted to talk about the positive stuff. One of my favoriteest people in my whole entire life, you know what I'm saying, since I was a child, you know what I mean, told me my daughter about to graduate from Howard University, and I felt like that is a real dang on big accomplishment. That accomplishment is, they have doctorates and master's degrees and whatever degrees or whatever you could say, but I just thought that was just so huge, and I was so proud and so elated. Like, I was like, in Howard University, and of course, we do the beaches and bridges, man. We know I'm in California. I'm on the total opposite side of where I was at. But yeah, I went, man, because one thing for sure and two things for certain. Like, I guess death is a part of life, and people die all the time, and we get together, and then you hear the speeches about, oh man, we need to come together for something positive and all that. So to me, that's definitely what was going through my mind. Like, that is a big accomplishment. Damn, anybody who's not graduating, you know what I'm saying? We should damn near have all of that family at this, because this is, you know what I mean? And it's college. It's not just, you feel me? It's not just which every matriculation is good. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, if you graduate from middle school, elementary, or, you know what I'm saying, high school, all of that's good. I'm finna go to a high school graduation. But college, I feel like that's, I think that's a different level of dedication, because I know I've been to college before. I didn't finish, but I know that ain't nobody telling you to get up. Ain't nobody telling you to go to class. Ain't nobody telling you nothing. They're just like, you know what I'm saying? They just take the money, and if you fail, you fail. You just end up paying that money for no reason. So I just felt like that was a very big accomplishment, because graduated magna cum laude. That means she was, man, on them books, man. She was getting in there. I guess they got the summa cum, that's more, but any cum, I don't care if it's just cum laude. You feel me? I feel like, hey, you did your thing. I think you went to school and paid attention those nights when you were at the frat party or whatever, and cuz pledged. I don't want to mess up her sorority or whatever, but yeah, like, any of them times when she could have been partying and stuff, she was in there handling them books, and that made me proud. Another thing is at the time. So, you know what I'm saying? That's 2025. I don't really like putting timestamps on things, but yeah, it's 2025. Like, cuz went to school, like, smack dab. Her freshman year was during pandemic time, like in 2001, 2021. And so, like, you know, I would feel like cuz could have gave up at any time. You know what I'm saying? You know, that time was a very difficult time to be away from your family. Very difficult time to be even with your family because y'all was either isolated, apart, or together. And it really wasn't no like air traffic and stuff really that much at that time when she went off to school. So I could definitely understand some of the problems or whatever that she incurred while she was doing that. So that's another reason why I'm very super like proud, because man, it was so easy to give up. I'm talking to her mom. She's like, man, you know, now I would have thought that cuz would have said, yeah, she encouraged her to stay there and whoop-de-whoop. But it was kind of like, I don't know if this was for reverse psychology, but I think it probably worked like that. Cuz was like, oh, well, whatever, come home. There's plenty of good colleges out here. We're in California, so there is, you know, good colleges, but Howard, man, to me, that's a very prestigious university. I used to think that Howard was Ivy League when I was a kid because the prestige of the way people used to talk about it. They talk about it the same way as they talk about Harvard. They talk about it as the same way as they talk about MIT or something. Any school that is like very academically focused. And so like if you graduate from there, you hit them books for real, for real. So I said all that to say that I did go, man. I said all that to say, no, you know, it's just, to me, I'm a very family oriented person. So I want to be there for the moments that will last during life, the moments that will be a moment that we could be like, man, you remember we was wherever we was and this happened or whatever. And it's a good thing. It's not always such and such got cancer or passed away or such and such died and we was at the funeral and everything like that. And mostly every funeral, and I done been to funerals that just was my homies, like, and even they families would be like, you know, we need to get together for better stuff than just funerals. And that is the whole premise behind the story. So I don't want y'all to feel like I'm salty for real, because I'm going to say some things that probably sound salty, but I wasn't really for real, because like I said, at the end of the day, it was about me going and taking my family and experiencing something that we never experienced, and got to see my cousin accomplish her dreams, you know what I'm saying? And be a part of that, you know, and be a part of the finished product, because people, you know, well, people like to see the finished product, I guess. It's like the finished product is what everybody thinks something is. They don't see the hard nights, the grinds. They don't know the conversations that I'm sure my family had, and the blood, sweat, and tears, and the money. Because Howard ain't free. And I know she didn't get no full scholarship. So they don't see all of that stuff that goes into it. So it's like, yeah, everything that I can do to be there for my family that's positive, man. Shout out to all my family members that's graduating this year. Shout out to all the future graduates. Shout out to all the ex-graduates. Shout out to the fam, man. Period. Like I said, I'm family oriented, so this story is gonna be, you feel me? So, I want to talk about some of the conversations I had, some of the people that just, you feel me, didn't come. So I had a conversation because one of my family members had got a Winnebago or whatever. And so when they got the Winnebago and cuz had told me about that, I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We could get, because it's like a big one. It's like probably 40 feet or something. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like, you know, we can get some of the other family members to come especially like some of my elder family members. My pops don't fly, you know what I'm saying? Moms fly, but pops don't. Like, man, like I went on a road trip with him last year. Man, that was pretty crazy. I'm gonna have to dedicate something to that and let y'all know about that. But so he don't fly, and then I just felt like, we all would be riding pretty comfortably in a Winnebago. It's bed space, place to lay down, lounge. You could when you eating, if you're not driving, it's not really like you're, you know what I'm saying? You're not really on the roads. You kind of in luxury. So that's what I was thinking. And it was supposed to be, a lot more of us coming. So split the fuel cost. It would have been a beautiful thing. I feel like, more the merrier. Because, as I said, to me, this is something that we would all want to come to because it's accomplishment, and it's not a funeral. It's not nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? So I asked, and my fam was like, oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna let my husband know. But yeah, we gonna do this now. Mind you, this is probably like maybe 8-9 months before the graduation. So maybe a year. You know what I'm saying? Because man, I think my girl was pregnant at the time. Yeah, it was like, we gonna have a kid. He gonna be this age when it's time for us to go and all that type of stuff. So yeah, we was like, yeah, so cool, cuz like good. Okay. Fast forward to around 3 months before it. I talked to cuz like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then she hit me back like, oh, nope, sorry. And I don't even know if she said sorry, which it don't even to require none of that, apologies or nothing like that. But it just was like, damn, it was kind of like no explanation. So, which, I mean, if it's yours, it's yours, dog. Like, I guess, like, I'm an adult. Like, it's yours. You don't have to explain why. But my only thing is, like, if you say no or something, you could be like, well, anything, because you already said yes. So that was the only reason why I felt like, damn, you ain't gonna even say nothing like, oh shit, we doing this or nothing. Just no now. It was yes, it was a full go, and then now it's no. So that's why I was like, damn, that was kind of cold a little bit, but I mean, it's no love lost. I mean, life has this way of having everybody on to whatever they have to do. So 9 months ago, it was yes. And maybe if it would have been happening at that time, then it could have happened. But since it wasn't, and it was all this time in between, maybe that's what changed it to a no. So you know what I'm saying? I don't got no bad with fam or nothing, but that was just one thing. So that kind of like eliminated some of the people that I thought was going to come. Like I said, pops don't fly. So having them being able to like kind of like lounge around, lay down type shit, like not in no GMC or no Yukon or no fucking Denali or like, excuse my language, y'all, or nothing like that, to whereas, you just sitting up in the car this whole time. And so that kind of, cause I was telling them, I was like, okay, so to replace this, I could get like a 15 passenger van or something like that. And they was like, nah, they just ain't gonna go. So that eliminated that. You feel me? Mind you, hey, everybody knows that, hey, the less people, the less everything, the less clothes, the less money, the less people need to stop and use the bathroom. So it's less is more, I guess. I don't know. So they dropped off my auntie, who's the grandmother, had just had to go back to work. And so her work, she couldn't, I guess, take off or whatever to go to the thing because she wanted to go at first. So we was going to get like a 15 passenger van after that because it was going to be like 7 of us or something after that. That didn't happen. So one of her uncles, one of her uncles was like, he's coming in and he gonna, make sure that uh, everything's good, you know what I'm saying? He even told me, man, don't book right this second, you feel me? Wait a little minute. And so, hey man, if you call me and you tell me that that's what you're gonna do, that's what I did. For sure. I waited a little minute and like, cause I don't know, if he hurt his leg or, he got a little COVID or something, but shit, we didn't carry back and we still ain't hollered. I don't know what's going on, but it's all good though. It's all love. So, one good thing about me is that I fuck with my fam and they fuck with me back. I got hook up on the hotel stay and on the rental car. You know what I mean? Cause fams work there or whatever. Yeah, man, got me hooked all the way up. The money that we were supposed to split or whatever, that ain't nothing because now it's even less. So it's like, man, this trip is 40 hours, 41 hours, and you ain't got to worry about the money no more. You ain't even got to split it with me. We just went and paid that. So come with us and drive. But like I said, I still ain't even heard from, you know what I mean? So I don't know, by the time this come out maybe. But yeah, so it just ended up being me and my girl and my child. And we had us an 8-passenger, you might as well say. It was a Chrysler cross country town. I don't know. Don't give me the line, y'all. Look it up. It was a Chrysler. It was a hybrid too. They was saying that, you know what I mean? The hybrids is supposed to like take less money or whatever. And I ain't sure about that, but I know one thing for sure and two things for certain. When you ain't in California, you don't gotta worry about gas. For real, for real. That's the man. California this is ridiculous. You feel me? So, man, let's dive a little bit into I just wanted to say, like, damn, I don't even know. I mean, my family that ain't coming, I ain't talked to. Man, I am not, you feel me? I am not mad, bro. I just am like, man, we could have used you as a driver, bro. Gosh. That trip was crazy, man. So yeah, let's talk about the road trip. So the road trip going there. I was trying to find the exact amount of miles and all that for y'all, but you can look it up for yourself. Going from just say Oakland to, I stayed in Arlington, Virginia, which is probably like 10 minutes from downtown or 15 minutes from downtown D.C. So yeah, like I said, I got awesome family members. Shout out to all y'all, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that mess with me and everybody that don't mess with me. Hey, shout out to y'all too. I love y'all. I don't know, that could be a character flaw in my mind, but man, my family, bruh, is like everything to me. Like, it's for real, for real. They can't call me, I'm coming or whatever. So it don't matter. But so we get the car and we get the minivan loaded up or whatever. Now my son is most definitely like one of the highlights of my entire existence. This man is a child though. He just got like 4-month shots. I mean, he little. And he's finna go on a 40-hour ride. I wrote down in my notes, I'm like, parents make mistakes. We do. Parents make mistakes sometimes. So let me tell you my psyche behind taking him on this road trip. So I've been on planes. I flew, you know what I'm saying, and to destinations, and there's always a baby on the plane crying. So I was thinking, man, it got to be like the pressure that's in their head or whatever while they flying and stuff. Well, I was like, I'm from where it's some mountains. It may go up 7,000 feet or something above sea level, and we might get stuffed up for a minute, but we're not going to be in it that long because the rest of the country is flat, right? Wrong as heck, man. Wrong. We got out of the mountains in the Sierra Mountains because it took us the 80 East, which is a whole nother shit show, y'all. The 80 East is very expensive. It costs money. They have lots of toll roads. So just know that when you on the 80 East or West, because there is a toll out here too. When you get to the Bay Bridge, the 80 is expensive to ride on. Not only do you have to pay for gas and all that stuff, but you damn sure gotta pay the toll. So yeah, try to avoid the 80 if you can. I would say that my man handled it good. I mean, to be sitting up looking at the sky for 40 hours, because the man got to be strapped in. I mean, we stopped an adequate number of times, I think, you know what I'm saying, and thank the man upstairs that just kept a cloak over us, and we got a praying family and all that, and whatever you believe in. I think that we most definitely had a hedge of protection around us. So we going through these states, and I don't mind driving. I don't have no issues with it really. I was driving overnight most of the time. So, I mean, she drove at night sometimes, but I was driving overnight. So a lot of the times I didn't get to see the beauty of the country. But in the daytime, I'm up talking with her a little bit and just getting to see man, boy, this place is huge. And it's like for a person to never go through all the states, but then feel like nobody haven't went anywhere because they haven't been international. It's I think that's a crime, man. If you have not seen all of the wonders of this country has to offer, you know what I'm saying? So getting out of California, is cool. Getting to see other stuff. One of the things of being on the road was gas. Gas got down to $2.70. You know what I'm saying? If you got a quarter of a tank and you put in $20, that's damn near full, y'all. It was no problem outside of California. The rest of the country, even though it was a 2,000-mile journey, and maybe cars get just say 400 miles to the gallon, because this is a hybrid. You know what I'm saying? You got to break that down. How many times you need gas? So the rest of the country, I would say there and back, maybe 200. That's that California that cost. But good thing about it is I don't stay that far from the Nevada border. So I think we got gas one more time in Nevada, and then we was good the rest of the way and everything. Yeah, being outside of California, I don't know what it is about California, why our gas prices is more high than anywhere in the country. I don't know why. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I cannot say, but we need to figure it out because the rest of the country know what's going on. I don't know. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? The road trip's going pretty good. I want to talk about the 80 and the way that the state troopers be. So now, mind you guys, we're riding the whole day, overnight and everything. This is the next day. And everything's pretty much going smooth. We ride and we hit Illinois. Now this is where y'all know this is the infamous Chicago, and yeah, man. I mean, we weren't in Chicago, but we wasn't that far from Chicago. We were actually probably maybe 45 minutes from Chicago. I don't know what part of Illinois, and excuse me, you guys, for rummaging through papers, but I was trying to find the warnings they gave because I wanted to show y'all. Yeah, I wanted to show y'all how it seems like how they target people, especially out of towners. I got California plates. All people talk about in California is tree and all this kind of stuff. And they probably thought that that's what we were doing, So when they pulled us over, Illinois, when they pulled us over, they were acting cool. Like, they was acting like, like we was cool. Everybody was all right. And they were acting very, inviting. Well, it was only one police at the time that pulled us over. And he was acting very inviting, very cool, very calm and stuff. So, that kind of for 2 seconds made me feel like, okay, maybe this guy is different, right? Maybe this guy is one of those people that is about what he says he's about. Because, a lot of people ain't on nothing. A lot of people ain't on nothing. A lot of people ain't on being serious about whatever it is that they got going on. So that's what I mean by people ain't on nothing. But the cop, so this to me, now I'm going to explain even the stop. This is to me what he stopped us for, but this is, I guess, the law that he said that we broke. So we driving down the 80, and a semi truck, whatever, just jumps in my lane. So the main jump in my lane, and I'm like, damn. Well, at the time when he jumps in the lane, we passed by 2 state troopers that's sitting there, and I see them. You feel me? But I'm like, all right. So we passed by him. Boom. Now, when he pulls me over, the state trooper tells me, he says, usually cars that are driving down the highway give the trucks 4 seconds or something. Like, he said something like 4 seconds. So I'm thinking, okay, so you seen me passing by and I didn't give him 4 seconds. So he said, oh yeah, he said, the 4 second thing. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, how did he count any seconds? How did he do anything? But he was like, I was tailgating. So, okay. So I'm tailgating. So he's like, well, don't worry, license and everything. I'm just gonna give you a warning and I'm gonna let you be about your way. So I gave him my license. I was in a rental car, so I just showed him my agreement or whatever. And then he went back to his car. So he went back to his car, and we're sitting there, and I'm telling my girl, I'm like, get prepared, because this guy's going to come back and try to search us. And she like, nah, he ain't going to come back and search us. He said he just going to give you a warning and whoop whoop. And I'm like, hey, you see how long we've been sitting here? If he was giving us a warning, we would have just drove off from having a warning. It would have been like, all right, man, thank you, you know what I'm saying? I show your how close you are to semis. You know what I'm saying? That's a warning. That's like, okay, thank you guys. I cannot find the paper that says the warning on there. Damn. I apologize to y'all. But yeah, so that's a warning though. A warning is a warning. Like, don't do that. Y'all be cool. You know what I mean? We'll see you next time. So this guy got us sitting there. Now, about 10 minutes go by, I see another car pull up. with a canine. I'm like, I knew it. I told her, I said, see, I told you he was going to try to come and search us. And she's still like, she's still thinking, I don't, naive or whatever. I'm like, they gonna come and search us. So mind you, when he came to the car to get my license, he like, you in here with your family. You see the baby seat, you see the baby. I don't think if he seen the baby because the car kind of had tinted windows on it. But he goes, so when he goes back and then the other unit pulls up, I'm like, damn, he about to make my baby get out the car and all of this and all of that. And this is finna be a total shit show. My brother had told me, like, before I left, he was telling me, man, make sure you put the green app, like the green book app on your phone and see what towns to go through and all that. And I was telling him when we was having a conversation about it, like, man, bro, this couldn't have told me. It's just, I'm on a random spot on the freeway. So I don't think the green book would have had that. But he comes back to the car and he says, well, here's your warning. And he handed me my license. Or did he hand me my license? No, he said, or he had the warning in his hand. But he came back to the window like, oh, well, you guys, I smell marijuana in the car. And so I'm going to conduct a search. Now, mind you guys, I just told y'all, I am riding with my child. My kid is an infant. He's not even 1 year old yet. So I'm definitely not smoking in the car at all, period, with him. I got one of those pens, one of those vape pens. So, you know what I'm saying? When I get out at the gas station or something, I could hit it a couple times and I'll be all right. Well, this man come and tell me, you feel me? He smelled tree or whatever. I'm like, oh my goodness. So he tells me to get out. Now, y'all, my girl, she is the real MVP. I wanted to just point that out in this situation because, a lot of women could have been panicking, could have been hysterical, could have been outright like, oh man, he got whatever and my kid in his car, I'm not finna play with y'all, this type of, whatever. Man, my girl is smoother than she got ice water in her veins. I'm kind of scared, man. That situation had me thinking like, damn, girl, man, the police was whatever they was talking about when he was in the car, like searching our stuff, man, got that man up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy that had the dog, my girl told me, he was like, well, she could just put the kid on the sidewalk or whatever. And the other police like stood up and was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I guess my son started fussing a little bit or whatever. But the guy with the dog came back to sit with me and ask me questions. You know how the police try to get little tidbits and morsels of information. So he asked me questions. He's like, oh, I see your address. Is that in the Bay Area and this and that? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And, we got California plates. So in my mind, the conclusion, especially with the line of questioning, to me was like, these guys see a black guy driving a minivan from California with California plates on it. I got 5 on it and all that type of shit going through their mind. And so he does whatever and wraps his search up and says, okay, you free to go, and hands me my warning. So I'm very ecstatic with my whole family. I'm in there very excited. We getting back on the road and we're back about to be driving back towards the graduation and everything. And I'm like, I am so like this. My mind is blown because I'm like, this lady done held up. You feel me? Like she done stood tall. My son just stood tall through it all. And next thing you know, wait a minute. Now what is going on? Are they in collusion with each other? Collusion? Like what the hell? So less than an hour. We on the road. People from these areas will know less than an hour from Illinois, you go into Indiana state line or whatever, and the toll is right there and all that. Right before we hit the toll, now this is, mind y'all, this is less than an hour. I see 3 state troopers. They sitting there. I see one getting in his car. Now, in my mind, I'm like, we about to get pulled over again. He seen a black dude with California plates. I don't be wanting to throw this and make it racial, but you guys, this is America. Like, you stop being childish, stop being naive, stop being whatever it is for you guys to even think that race cannot play a part in anything, because it just does. It's there. This guy pulls me over, and so when he comes to the window, my first thing is to show him my warning that I just got 15 minutes ago. And I said, is y'all not trying to let me get to this graduation? He was like, oh, well, sir, this is a whole nother state and all that. But I'm like, bro, you obviously, you know that this is so close. It's not far. This is so close to one another. It's like, are y'all radioing to each other? Hey, stop this van or whatever. I didn't say all that, but I just was telling him, like, I was like, man, I showed him my warning that I had got from there, and showed him that it was because in my mind, I'm thinking this man gonna come back and tell me the same thing. It smell like weed in here. We're gonna search you again, and woo. Well, he came back with a warning. Like, he told me that I didn't put on my blinker to go into whatever toll lane I went into. He said, like 1,000 feet when you leave the toll, the speed limit is still 40. I went over that. And then he said one other thing. I couldn't think of what it was, but I'm thinking to myself, like, if I did anything that you could have gave me a ticket for, that's what you would have did. Like, both of the police that gave me warnings, they just wanted to see who's in this truck, in this minivan, soccer mom van at that, with California plates. And this is a black guy driving it. And, you know, the crime rate or whatever they want to feel about however we get down. My thoughts about the race thing is, it's fucked up. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, excuse my language, but it's real. It's like, is this the real cast? It's real, y'all. The biases that other states have against people from California too, because I guess we go to different places and stuff happens. I mean, that stuff is real, y'all. So just know that, I don't know, hopefully this comes out before, like, you know, whatever holidays that you guys are traveling in, you will see that, you know, it's these road trips is really crazy. Really for real crazy. So I don't be wanting to be so on the cops like that or whatever the hell, but you know, I know that the cops come from slave catchers and the whole shit. Like, if we want to run down the history and the etymology of where the police come from and all that, you know, this a whole nother podcast. Like, we'll still be here. Like, so, but I just don't want people to be like, I was so quick to want to throw race in there. But I just know that I think, and in my mind, in my feelings too, I feel that, like, these people really wanted to see what was up with these California plates and this black person, and black people be up to no good and all that type of stuff. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm damn near old man though. I'm riding with glasses and stuff. Come on, bro, leave him alone. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? They got me ready to get the flag with the one blue line and all that just for whenever I take another road trip. Because, man, but I know one thing for sure and two things for certain, man. 80 is, yeah, man, unless I have to be, man, the 80 is just God, bro. And the 80, y'all, stretches from here, from California coast to, I'm pretty sure, New York coast. You feel me? Like wherever the coast is out there, pretty sure it stretches to the coast. It's, those more eastern states, but it's still the Midwest. That was the Midwest, but those are more eastern states from where I'm at. I just, I thought, man, they would have more trouble with us in Wyoming or one of them places out there, but we didn't have no problems with that. So, all right, man, we got through our police ordeal and we're back on the road, and then we get there early. So we get there early, y'all. I booked the room, and I booked the room for 2 days or whatever. Because I knew it was going to be like a 7-day trip or whatever. And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get there, on the 3rd day, check in and do whatever, and then go to the graduation and chill out, have dinner and all that. And then, leave the next day, which happened to be Mother's Day. That's another reason why I feel like she's the real MVP, man, because she didn't care about that. She didn't complain about it or nothing. So we get there a day early. I don't want to say that I was ill prepared for that, but I really was, because even the hotel kind of didn't even want to let us extend our reservation a day early. If you already checked in, you can extend your reservation days until they well, you gotta go because you've been here for too long. But before, they did not want to mess with me. I had to talk to them for an hour. Bro, we drove damn near 3,000 miles. You know what I'm saying? Can you please, accommodate us? I told y'all, one of the things was my folks made the reservations. That was almost an issue. And then, I don't know, somebody that was, I don't know if they was a manager or something, but somehow they worked it out to whereas I got the same rate as I had the other 2 days. So that was great, because I was prepared to go stay in a Motel 6. I'm staying at the Hampton. Don't get me messed up. So I'm ready to go stay at the 6 or something for a night. You feel me? But they made it happen. So I wasn't really mad about that. But the one thing that was crazy out there was the parking situation. So we get there. All right, we finally get our room. We go upstairs and all that. He tell me, it's $40 a day to park, and a lot of places out here, a lot of places out here is gonna cost, whatever to park at. So it's almost like a San Francisco type of situation, because they're very limited. It seems like it's very limited, public parking, and you won't get a ticket because or whatever. But nah, out there, I used to watch Parking Wars, and I didn't know that it was for real serious out there. They really are on that parking stuff. So the next morning, we get up, everything's fine, everything's cool. We go to the Smithsonian, to where the Black exhibit is at. A lot of people call it the Black Museum, but I'm sorry to break people's hearts and stuff like that. But it's not the Black Museum, y'all. It's the Smithsonian. If you look up who the Smithsonians is, they ain't Black. But it's all good. Thank y'all for letting us have this exhibit, you feel me? And teaching people that don't look like me and people that look like me. Because some people don't know. If you from different parts of the world or even from this part of the world, they're trying to take out history as we speak. So, yeah, they're trying to take out history as we speak. Let me get a co-host up in here for y'all. Yeah, come on up. I got the angry one in the house. You feel me? So what's up with her, brother? What you have something to say about the Smithsonian?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to correct you that it is the National Black History Museum. It's in the Smithsonian complex, but it is the Black Museum. It's a black museum. All of that other stuff around it is Smithsonian, but that is an actual black museum.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's here. So it's in the complex of the Smithsonian, just like that, and you can go to all of them for free and all of that stuff. But that one is actually called the National. I want to say it's the N8.
I want to say you're right, but y'all can look it up. Y'all can check it out. You know what I'm saying, for yourselves. So yeah, what you wanted to say before I finish the story?
Oh, go ahead. I was listening to the story. Listening to the story, but that I just want to make sure that we understand that is a black museum. National Museum of African American History and Culture.
Oh, okay. In the Smithsonian.
Just in that, all of that stuff around there is Smithsonian, but that is not. That's what I'm saying. They didn't get their money.
Okay, all right, okay. I didn't know that, man. I gotta look up. There was a lot of people in there that was contributors, man. And I was like, that was one of the things, like when we used to watch stuff on the public access channel and it would say Laura G. Wells Foundation, and then you would look the shit up. It's like that's what made me think about it. Like, damn, okay, so who are these people? Like, that says that they're a contributor to this. Like, who are these people? So yeah, that shit is like that's crazy. So, but that was cool. But yeah, so we get there. I'll finish the story now. So we get there, and we see like street vendors. We see a lot of people just going in and out and coming around, and it's a nice little foyer, probably about 100-step walk from the curb. We parked on the street because my brother told me that it was gonna cost us probably $40 to park there. So I'm like, all right. Our reservation was like for $330 or $340 or something. I don't know. But or no, for 2:00, I think, because I think it closes at 4:30, something like that, y'all. But so we go up in that thing, and I got a couple of inserts that I'm gonna insert in here for y'all to ponder about or whatever. But we get to walking, we get to seeing stuff, and we in there. So I had this talk with my brother before I went up in there, and he like, man, don't be upset because there's a lot of other cultures and stuff that's going to be in there with y'all. Some of them might have a smirk on their face or something, and none of that shit, especially on the bottom floor, is funny. So I find myself in there like people watching, like, damn, because it is a lot of them in there, and it made me people watch a lot. But it's a couple of things that really stood out to me. I took some audio, so bear with me, y'all, with this audio. But let's hear it. This was one of the first things I heard. I'm trying to find in the dust and cross the mountain before the feet of tyranny, and I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. Now, if y'all didn't hear him, and I'm not sure, it was like one of the senators, but he was like a Ku Klux Klan member, and he was like segregation now, segregation then, and segregation forever, which he probably was right, though. I probably could agree with that, man. When we were segregated, black folks was doing a lot better. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to talk about it, we can, but that's just my opinion. So, thanks. Go ahead. If you want to talk about that one thing he just said, I got one more insert, but go ahead. Yeah, go on.
It's a track. We was definitely better off not integrated with these people. That's for sure. I'm trying to think maybe like, when you got to do everything on your own and get more done. So you don't have to wait for nobody to allow you to do it.
Yeah.
And when that was the case, we got a whole bunch of stuff done. And then the people who said that they couldn't do it, they can't do it, they looked around and realized, damn, not only are they doing it better than us. We can't have that. Burn that shit down.
Y'all see that is truth. Like, and it's crazy because I don't want to alienate nobody from listening to this podcast, but I'm a black male, you know what I'm saying? And so y'all, you know, that is one of the truest statements. It's like, come on, y'all. Y'all got to do better, bruh. Okay, here go the next insert.
The American people, his action and focus, his courage to risk safety, and to risk his life, have awakened the conscience of this nation. His demonstrations have been designed to call attention to injustice, designed to provoke change, designed to stir reform.
So that was another senator or somebody that y'all can, but he was just saying that he was saying to his people, like, y'all see that the struggle of the African American Negro, and then that's what they used to call us in this country, and the things that we're doing, the protests that we're doing are designed to provoke change, to provoke reform, to provoke just a better life for black people. And when I saw that, it just made me record it because I agreed with that. I agree with it. And it's still, I think that we still going through it right now. Like, still just trying to be a man and not 3/4 or whatever. Man, that part of the museum, which I have to go back because, man, I didn't make it to the good stuff. But that part of the museum really, really had me captivated. It was another not a little exhibit. There's an exhibit about Emmett Till in there. You cannot record, you cannot take pictures after a certain point. But you guys, now, one thing I did learn in there, and I have been hearing about Emmett Till my whole life. I didn't know that man was 13 years old. They talk about Emmett Till like he is an adult. And that is the problem with y'all. Like the white folks who told me about Emmett Till, like, they didn't talk about him like he was no kid. Like, and his story is like, they tell that he catcalled at a white woman, so they did him like that. I mean, you can go look up any story about Emmett and see his mom saying that, you know, she wanted people to see what they did. She wanted them to see the brutality and stuff, how they killed a 13-year-old boy for what they said was catcalling at a white person. That's a whole nother, to me, that's a whole nother, like, cause I could talk about that for an hour, but that was one of the most, like, profound things that on the bottom floor. I mean, because I did go see the Middle Passage. I walked through a segregated railway car, which I'll be putting an insert to that in so you guys could see the visual.
Guess this is what it felt like to be walking up to a train back then. You know what I'm saying? In the Jim Crow era of shit. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It's like the train from back then, though. So this the train. It's old school. Whites only section. Rosa Parks shitted on that. The whites only section got the damn. They ain't gonna even let us in here. That's how whites only. They got a toilet in there, a lounge. That's the whites only section. I'm like, I'm trying so hard not to say nothing. I'm trying to tell my people what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Tickets now.
Hella nerve.
Ladies and gentlemen, tickets.
Wow, y'all, look at this. Whites only cabinets. Whites only cooler. Man. Another little lounge with the bathroom in it.
Only bathroom. Where's the
Wow,
black section?
color cooler.
I'm about to say, where are we at?
Well, at least we got the same kind of cooler.
Yeah, no bathroom.
Tickets now.
Like, where was we gonna use the bathroom? Virtual
Damn.
section used by African smaller.
Our bathroom is small.
Let me see.
God dang, y'all.
Is it sad?
It's very sad. Very. So, yeah, man, y'all, that train experience was pretty different. You know what I'm saying, man? This how shit is.
Ain't nothing changed.
Man. This how shit is. They just, you know, they call it equality, but y'all know what's up. That right there was one of the things downstairs that had me like, damn, y'all just 13 years old. You could call him a teenager because that's the first year of the teens. But to me, you just was 10 3 years ago. Like, I don't know. Like, that's still a kid to me. So for that story to be like that is like, it's real crazy. And that took a toll from my psyche right there. So, I mean, at that point, they was about to close and we didn't make it to the damn, what you call that? To the gift shop. Now I wanted to get me a sweater. And man, you know, when you be out of town, stuff happens. So, man, we walking back to the car, y'all. Now, mind you, I think all they let you pay for is like 2 hours at a time. So we was going back to the car because it was that time. Our ticket was in the dashboard. Y'all, now, mind you, I got the maximum amount of time. Our ticket expired at 3:59 p.m. They didn't even give us 5 minutes to walk back to the car. They gave us the ticket at 4:03. 59 to 4:03, like, damn, like, we was walking back to the car, we seen the man pulling off. But I didn't think it was nothing on our window, because I was like, I knew I had paid, you know, and it's probably about that time. But yeah, man, he really gave us a ticket. And the comment was like, PM rush hour 4 to 6:30. Like, what? That don't even say what we did. Like, the violation says P259, no parking or standing PM rush hour. I don't even know what that is, but yeah, bro, they really did that in less than 5 minutes. That parking war stuff is like, that's really crazy. And I'm gotta call them, man. District of Columbia, man. Gotta call y'all, man. Y'all shouldn't be giving us no $100 ticket for no 4 minutes of parking. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I wanted to talk about, y'all, was the food. Okay, so I ain't gonna call myself no small dude. You feel me? We talked about the parking. Okay. I want to talk about the food, but let's go back to the parking for 1 minute because y'all. So that same day, that was the Smithsonian day. So the next day, we go to the graduation. Man, I'm Juice, man. Reading Rainbow gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? That's the LeVar Burton for any of y'all youngsters who don't know. But to me, he reading Rainbow. I don't care if he been on every show, every movie or whatever. When I was a kid, I first seen that man on Reading Rainbow. So I was juiced for my cousin. We get to the graduation and our mom say, man, they're not letting nobody else in. I don't think we're going to be able to get into the... I'm like, damn, that's crazy, right? So this is Howard's first time having their graduation back on the line since before COVID. So they hadn't had one in 5-6 years on the line. But it's enough room for 20,000 people. It probably was 20,000 people there.
I just was like, wow, my cousin sounded disappointed. And then like 2 minutes later, she was asking me, where you at? We was buying my cousin some flowers and stuff like that. And across the street from the souvenir people or whatever. And she was like, where y'all at? Y'all supposed to be behind us. And they was inside, but we ended up finding them and sitting on that row. And then we went and just walked around the campus a little bit. And so I was juiced for my cousin. We get to the graduation. Her mom say, man, they not letting nobody else in. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, right? So this is Howard's first time having their graduation back on the line since before COVID. So they hadn't had one in 5-6 years on the line. But it's enough room for 20,000 people. It probably was 20,000 people there. I just was like, wow, my cousin sounded disappointed. And then like 2 minutes later, she was asking me, where you at? We was buying my cousin some flowers and stuff like that. And across the street from the souvenir people or whatever. And she was like, where y'all at? Y'all supposed to be behind us. And they was inside, but we ended up finding them and sitting on that row. And then we went and just walked around the campus a little bit and just soaked in the proudness. I don't know. That might not be a word. Soaked in the blackness. I think that's a word, but maybe not from what the context. But anyway, we soaked it in. I don't know what it is. Yeah, pause. But yeah, it was freaking great, bro. I was so proud. I was so happy. My cousin name in the book, magna cum laude, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, I just was so happy. This is not nothing sad. This is not nothing, man. This is a great ass event. We had on shirts to support. My son had a baby shirt on to support. I had my cousin on there. She was so happy. Man, we had a great ass time. So then, we go to the Washington Monument. We go see Martin Luther King, you know what I mean? We was across from, I think, from the Kennedy one or whatever. But we walked out there. We walked around. We powwow, fellowship with each other. Seen a lot of other, at the Washington Monument, there was a lot of other schools up there, a lot of other graduates. There was a lot of, I think one school had like their prom up there. I don't know, but it was a lot of youngsters that was dressed up. So I thought they was at prom, but I didn't ask no questions. So don't give me the line. But like, I don't know. I was on cloud 12, man, 13. I'm telling you, just walking around there. I ain't never been out there before. It was all good. So now we going to split up or whatever. And we going back to our room and they going back to theirs, and my cousin's going to go pick up her stuff because we're going to take some of her stuff back home with us so they don't have to put too many bags on the plane or whatever. I take my girl up and my son is crying. You know, my girl gets out, goes up. I think she might have had to use the restroom. I don't know. But my son's still in the car with me, so he's crying and stuff. So we park and we directly across the street from an IHOP. Now, one day the meters was on, and then one day a charter bus company came and took where all those meters was at and said they're gonna tow you at your own expense type stuff. Don't park right here. So now we can't park. This directly across the street from the hotel. So I just pull into the IHOP. Now, the previous day before, we went into the IHOP. We bought some stuff from IHOP, and you know what I'm saying? I told the lady or whatever, and she's like, all right, cool, don't worry about it. Bam, we go to the room. I go back out there, I move the car, and everything's all right. Now, this, mind you, is like maybe within a 15-minute span. I get out, I take my son upstairs. My cousin is coming to bring me her bags for us to go back with. Bro, tell me why the car was gone. I go into the 24-hour to the IHOP, which happens to be a 24-hour establishment. I go into the IHOP. I asked the lady, I said, there was a van parked right there. She said, I don't know. You can't park in the parking lot. I'm like, man, that's a, you know, she said they probably got you towed. So I called the tow company. Why is the tow company 5 minutes away from the tow company is 5 minutes away from the hotel. So this is a racket. They do this all the time. When I got there, they were pulling in cars from other places they towed. Let me see. I have the the tow slip. I just want to tell y'all how quickly, well, man, whatever. I mean, that don't really matter. I'm just saying, like I told you, 10 minutes, these people came, got the car, took the car. My cousin get downstairs. She takes me to the tow place. I left my damn wallet in the room, so I had to go back to the room, get my wallet. I go over here. I'm talking to the people. I'm like, man, the way y'all towing cars, I hope y'all not making minimum wage, because it was two like white ladies, one older, one. I mean, both of them was like kind of heavy set or whatever. They both was like really snide, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I felt. But I think too, because they was really snide. They got the power. It's like, all right, give us this money or you don't, you know what I'm saying? And for them having my car for all of 40 minutes, it cost me $230. So y'all, it's adding up for the cost out there. We got $100 ticket for 4 minutes. And then for 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Because they working on fast minutes. For 10 minutes, I got a ticket that's 100, 200 and well, they towed the car, so it wasn't no ticket, $230. At least they ain't a racket where they made me go get a release from the police department or something that would have costed even more money. But I just say that to say, when you go out there, just make sure you paying attention to your signs and all that, because apparently they need money and they are making it like that. They're making it by pulling people over. What my brother say, Back to the Future in them. And if y'all don't know what that is, go look that up, man. That DeLorean, that's how they have your car out there. Back to the Future. But
the windows, open it. You know, you Negroes, you're hot. The only place we ain't gonna search is if you got a box full of books in your trunk. We'll leave out.
Yeah. Books, they gonna leave that alone. But yeah, man.
You ain't open that.
That's most definitely their way of, that's their revenue. They getting revenue like that. I'm pretty sure they stop people every day and they hit some kind of jackpot.
Well, you know, that's what I tell you. When you get into them little towns, that's exactly what they do. They're sitting there waiting for you to get off the exit with a license plate that don't look familiar. Your ass is getting stopped.
And we sure did.
And it's usually you were following too close, whatever the fuck that means.
Right. Hey, the Illinois, y'all got to do better. I'm just going to Illinois, y'all got to do better. Whatever dude said in Indiana, it was better than Illinois, though. It was better than the reason for Illinois. I mean, he might as well just told me Illinois. Right. They was on the same height, but he might as well just told me in Illinois. He might have just had said, man, you black, bro. You got California flag. That shit that he said didn't mean nothing. Right. So that was crazy. And I'm in a minivan.
Said, baby, and we don't care about this.
Yeah, my mans was going. Them police was really trying to put my mans on the curve. Yeah, I was, hey man, she was cooler than the other side of the pillow though, so I can't. Hey,
proposition when you're driving, bro.
It is, y'all. Dangerous as hell. Make sure y'all get on that green, what was it? Green Book, the greenbook.com. And another shout out, y'all. Black, man. The Black app, man. If you out there and you wanna buy from black folks and you wanna Black got from black toilet paper to black whatever you could think of. So y'all go on Black if you wanna support your peoples. So yeah.
So, okay. So that was that. Let me talk about the food. So the first night we get there, remember I told y'all we got there early. So, okay. So now we got an extra day. So I go into D.C. It's a spot called Yum. I'm gonna just say this because I don't even mean to give y'all no play, but this, if you Google Yum or whatever, or AI Yum, because I think I asked Gemini, but they said they have pretty good reviews and all that. Y'all, that stuff was not nothing of. I'm trying to get some mambo sauce. I'm trying to get some of these chicken wings to put it on. Some of this fried rice, you know what I'm saying, that they've been talking about is supposed to be so good. And I'm from the Bay, where we have lots of Asian cuisine out here. Chinese, Japanese, any of them needs. You feel me? So we have a pretty good selection, and you are most definitely into for a treat, finding something good, like talk to a local, any of that. So that was a dud. Shout out to Clubhouse, what I'm doing this audio on right now. One of the Clubhouse constituents put a couple of sent me a couple of messages with places to go. I got to go to one of the places. It was called Jerk at Night or District Jerk. Either one, y'all, it's the same building. I had the jerk nacho, which I never had nachos of Jamaican food before, but that shit was fire, y'all. I'm sorry for cursing this stuff, but it was fire. The only problem I had with them was, which is a good problem for them, they had sold out of every meat but chicken. So she had something called the jerk mac and cheese. That shit was fire. Jerk District. Hey, man, 10, 10, 5, 5, 20, 20, whatever. Jerk District. And that was just the chicken. I didn't get a chance to taste another meat. So if I was y'all and I'm in DC, that District Jerk, man, I don't know. Unless somebody else tell you where to get some mambo sauce from that's supposed to be good and whatever, I don't know. Because it wasn't good, but that District Jerk was fire. The other things we had to eat out there was cool. Like, I think we had IHOP, of course. It was right across the street. And then we had a place that made Philly steak, which we're in DC, so take that what you will. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't nothing to write home about. So the food out there, if they didn't have District Jerk, I would be going in on y'all all the way. Like, what?
We didn't make it to Ben's.
Oh, nah, I didn't make it to Ben's, bro. We didn't make it to Ben's. Nah. Yeah, and I wanted to go there. But I mean, between the exhaustion of the ride there and everything that was going on, because when we went to the Lincoln Monument, we walked to the Martin Luther King and all that, and we walked around. So, and it was pretty warm out there. It was a good day, actually. You know what I'm saying? Because they always be like, oh, it'd be raining and all that, and then it'll turn bright and sunny. Well, it was bright and sunny and warm the whole day. We had sat there and got baked and listened to Reading Rainbow talk to us, and then we went around and did that stuff. We was pretty burnt out. You feel me? But I don't think that that's going to be the last time that we ever go. We just know that next time we flying. It ain't unless we in one of them RVs, like I was talking about at first, unless we in the RV.
Back to the Future car too.
Oh, well, damn. I didn't even think about that.
Too, man.
I didn't even think about that. I ain't think because I ain't see no RVs pulled over or nothing. The only time we ever seen the RV, whatever, we just seen it on the back of a tow truck. Right. Nah, we didn't.
That's when it's in the front and you good.
They can't be just doing it. God, bro.
Yeah, why they can't?
I guess they can. I ain't gonna say what they can't do. Man, so, y'all.
Nobody strong enough to stop them as of yet.
That's true. We need some Avengers, man. Y'all brothers better sign up, man. Y'all ones that want to crash out on each other, man. There's a lot of other shit you could be crashing out about. Just saying. Just saying, man. It's a lot of better stuff you could be crashing out about. So,
You speaking about the Washington Monument? Was it open
yes, it was. And we got to go.
to go in?
Yeah, we got to go and, well, TV.
You know,
Because he
you go
just,
inside.
oh, and I guess it wasn't open then. But we just sitting there where Washington was sitting at. We just was sitting there where Washington was sitting at and took a couple pictures and shit.
Did you know that? You notice that's the tallest. That's the tallest thing in the area.
Nah, I thought it was the Lincoln. I thought it was the Lincoln Memorial.
They can't build a building anywhere in that area that's taller than that Washington Monument. That's a lot.
Okay, that's cool. When I was out there, man, I thought I wanted to go see the Pentagon and shit. We didn't even trip off of none of that.
I mean, it's all tight, close together, but yeah, they can't build nothing in that vicinity that's taller than the Washington.
Okay, see, now that's a tidbit of information we ain't know about, man. Right on, bro.
Phallus symbol.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see? Y'all pulling y'all Johnsons around, y'all throwing y'all Johnsons around here and don't even got to, man. That shit be crazy. It's already all you. It's already all you. You gotta throw Moji. Yeah. Well, at least, hey, Martin Luther King. Yeah, he looking hot, man. I don't know. I like this memorial and how they had it standing and how strong it looked. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how strong it looked. Even though it's across from, I guess, from Kennedy's memorial too, like across the water or whatever from Kennedy. I'm like, yeah, I liked it.
So I'm upset.
Yeah, man. We gotta go.
That's in the hood.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. Yum must be in the hood too, because I definitely seen a dude outside smoking crack.
You smoke crack, don't you?
Like it was 1981 or something. I was like, damn.
You know, you can see them doing that in front of the White House.
Yeah. We didn't even go to the White House. We should have, man. We should have. I mean, but we wasn't looking for no crack, so I guess we
Right, so you had only
didn't need to go. And damn sure wasn't looking for Trump. So yeah.
get deported.
Hey,
Your papers.
I just heard somebody say they sending street level dealers to Guantanamo Bay. I said, now this has got to stop. What? Yeah, but so
Guantanamo Bay or El Salvador.
yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, so that's what happened with the food situation. So the way home, y'all. So let me talk about this way home. One of the things about it was the day we left was Mother's Day. This is her first Mother's Day, so I salute her for being the man. For just because a lot of women could have took that as disrespect or whatever, or not even like my family or whatever for that type of reason. So I just respect her, the hell out of her. Being cool too, under pressure, not just from the cops, but her son in the car. This guy is getting restless every 5-6 hours, and he wants to be held, and he's a baby. Like, come on now. Like to go through that was hella crazy. So coming back, I was supposed to stop by like a steakhouse or something. And it was on a Sunday. I didn't get paid, I guess, until Tuesday. Shit, like the kicking it money was probably gone. We just needed essentials. We needed to get home, gas money, food money for the road, and me stopping and taking her like to a big steakhouse that was in whatever city that we was going to, whatever city we would be in at the time or dinner time. Kind of went out the window. Y'all know steakhouses for 2 people, about $300. Hey, out here, even if you go to like a commercial steakhouse, like the Texas Roadhouse or something, it's at least gonna be $200 for 2 people. So I just didn't want to risk, because I still gotta feed my family. I still gotta bring us home. So, you know what I mean? And like I said, things happen that foreshadowed that. Like, Like we had to get a room a day early. We had to get our car out. The paying the tolls. Like if y'all don't know, get prepared, man. At 80, the tolls. So on our way home, we avoided the tolls. Avoid the tolls, so that added an hour. Now instead of 41 hours, it's 42 hours. I wanted to go see my cousin in Colorado on the way home because I figured we got there fast, so we should be getting there fast. Shout out to this one lady that's in Fresno. She make candy grapes. I really wanted some of those. We wanted to stop by there and get those. But on the way home, in the wee hours of the morning, it happened to be 2 damn deers on the road. Hopefully, they both still alive and well, but I know one of them probably got hit. We avoided we avoided the tolls. We avoided the cops, I guess, because we seen them, but they wasn't lined up like they was when we was riding on the 80. I don't know, maybe different freeways. We went through those states still, Indiana and Illinois, but we went through on a bottom freeway, like the 70 or the 74 or something like that. So we went all the way through. We didn't get to the 80 again until we got to past like Peoria. I think we was damn near in Wyoming again by the time we got on the 80. So we passed all that good stuff and we got back on there, and then I don't know what happened, but it was at nighttime. But it was like, man, I'm so tired. I gotta sit here. We're in like Battle Mountain, Nevada or somewhere that way. And I'm so tired. So we sat there for about 30, 40 minutes or something. And then I start driving again. Well, the time goes by, you be on autopilot. I don't know what happened, y'all. When I tell you I got like maybe 25, 30 miles outside of Reno and the traffic was flowing, like the traffic was trafficking, and I got a second wind. I thought she was gonna have to drive like from Reno to home or whatever. That's probably a 3-hour stretch or something. Man, I got a second wind, y'all. I drove all the way home. When we got to the California state lines, I have never been so happy to hear you have hit California. I mean, even when I went to North Carolina and we got back, it was cool. But when I got back with my family and I heard California, damn, it just sent me to a different, it was better than any high, any whatever, because of maybe the anxiety of me having my family with me and wanting to make sure that they got home safely. We got here, we were supposed to turn the car in at 8 a.m. We turned it in at like 12 p.m. or whatever. They wanted to charge us for another day. Me hitting the deer didn't do nothing. It just did the bumper a little, so they let that go. I was happy about that. But 3 days later, $33 for another toll that I didn't know that I went through. That trip was still on my neck 3 or 4 days after. That was I don't want to complain. I made it over almost 6,000 miles with my family. They're happy, healthy. We all made it back happy, healthy. My cousin is still a graduate. So no matter what the hell happened, you know what I'm saying? No matter that my cousin didn't come, my other cousin told me, worry about yourself, your family. She told me, fly and all that. And I was thinking, man, I could do a lot better driving, which I did help. I helped my cousin bring some stuff home. That was good too. So I feel like the drive wasn't in vain. It just would have been better if we'd have had another driver with us. But the thing that I do want to say is that I do not want to put my boy through nothing else like that. I understand flying and the pressure in the kids' heads and all that. You feel me? I would have rather them been on a 6-hour flight than a 40-hour drive. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, the minivan was plushed out, but he had to be in his baby seat. So I don't know. I don't mind road trips, just that really opened my eyes to a lot. Shout out to Indiana and Illinois for not, you feel me? He tried to DeLorean me, but you know what I mean? Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all got a racket, man. Shout out to the DMV area with y'all parking wars and all that, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all got a racket. But shout out to my motherfucking fam. She did her thing. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even be having this podcast. Y'all know how the Beaches and Bridges go. We a variety show. We do stuff. We talk about different subjects, all that. But I just wanted to get this audio out because, man, I had a lot of pent up like thoughts about that whole thing. But the one thing that I don't want to let get lost in this thing is, man, my cousin graduated, bro. She did her thing. It is for sure a big accomplishment. People act like graduating is just a thing that happens, and some people want to run away from it, but we all know that Jim Crow and during segregation and all that type of shit, well, not segregation, but the Jim Crow stuff, and before we got freed and all that, how we couldn't read, we couldn't write, it was a crime, you know what I'm saying? And we're not that far removed from that time. Like, when people be like, oh, this person's dumb or whatever, well, just a little while ago, people wasn't able to read or write to even help them to teach them. And I'm sure that y'all could go around y'all neighborhoods and y'all know people who are probably not the smartest or not the bright or not the whatever, but they still live, they still strive, they got their family together. Like, people want to down us for the education and all that. Man, we survivors, and man, so shout out to my cuz. Shout out to Howard University. Shout out to HBCUs. Shout out to my girl cousin. She graduated from Tuskegee, you know what I'm saying, the same day. So we probably would have been, I'm sure we would have been at that graduation if we hadn't been at that one. So it's like, man, y'all, I'm saying that to say, like, make it good, make it count. You know what I'm saying? Make your memories be good with your family while they still here. I got some somber news, and I just want to keep things good, like keep it light. I had to do this audio because it was getting on me, y'all. So thanks to my brother, the angry one, for coming in, chiming in, and helping out. This Beaches and Bridges, y'all. This is, hey, man, I love this. I like for y'all to hear what I got to say, even though I'm not a celebrity. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I like for y'all to hear my opinion. If you want to hear me more, you'll hear me more on the couch with my two brothers, you know what I'm saying? Y'all come and join the nation of What's Real. Join the What's Real Nation, man. We got other content coming to y'all, so yeah, y'all, this Beaches and Bridges. You feel me? Yeah, man. Till next time.
I'm from the California coast, beaches and bridges. I'm from the California coast, beaches and bridges.